Hey everyone, it's Florence McGregor here. I'm a registered psychotherapist and embodiment coach, and I'm here with AJ Savas to talk about everything art and creativity and healing and embodiment. And so I'm just going to pass the ball to AJ here and to say, hey, talk to me about your life and about your creative process, about your art and what you're doing in the world.
Thank you, Florence. It's such a pleasure to be here. And thank you for asking this question because this has been a very special journey for me with creativity and art. So I am connecting from Bancroft, Ontario. I moved here about 5 years ago. We bought a rural land to build a house and retreat center. And sort of that's my latest, biggest creative endeavor here because we get to design this space and we get to create spaces and experiences that we are getting ready to share. But my journey with creativity started ever since I knew myself, ever since I became a human being on this planet. The art, the drawing was part of me, the colors. Um, I was spending a lot of time by myself because my parents had to work, and I was just that was my favorite thing to do, drawings. As a single child, they give you a bunch of crayons, and then you just start painting. So that was sort of my first favorite activity to do on my own. I did it almost every day, and then it got better and better. And eventually, my parents were like, when I was sort of in the tween years looking for like summer school, my parents were sending me to sports, but then eventually I'm like, I want to do more artsy stuff in the summer. So I asked to go to the art school. So I did like some ceramics and some sculptures and things like that. Really, really enjoyed um, just exploring like fine arts
That
was my
sounds
thing
amazing. Where did you grow up?
in Istanbul.
Okay.
Yeah.
They have like schools in Istanbul for
Oh yeah, tons of schools. Istanbul, Turkey is very modern and lots of things there. Um,
yeah,
Sometimes it's surprisingly more opportunity, like more stuff there than here, in fact,
yeah, yeah.
because it's so big and so cosmopolitan. Like I don't know if that's a word.
Cosmopolitan, yeah.
Yes. um, so yeah, I started art and I was following the art scene. And soon enough, I decided that I want to be an artist because the art was became a sort of an emotional journal. So some people journal. I used paintings for journaling, and I got introduced to surrealism at the time, Dali, Magritte, and I was really amazed by it. And I was reading Carl Jung with archetypes and life and death, and this was my teenager times, and
Wow.
I was trying to make sense of it all through these drawings. I was drawing like life, death, and all of this. It was just like it was a period of me sort of psychologically calming myself and helping myself process information. I went to a point where to antisocial space. I had this boyfriend at the time, and he was like, "What's wrong, AJ? Why are you so sad and depressed?" I'm like, "No, I can't talk. I don't want to explain myself to you. I draw things. Thank you for asking." I was like, "No, thank you. I'm just gonna
So
do my
art
own thing."
became a way for you to process the information, process your life, process your childhood, process, all the things that you were feeling.
Yeah, yeah. It was and I was like, yeah, I guess this is what I want to do for my life. I want to study art and I want to become an artist. So I started the journey of like getting ready for the art school, learning how to draw more academically, and um, and then boom, my parents are like, "Hey, we're taking you to Canada. Let's go." And I'm like, "Oh, I was preparing to go to this art school that I wanted to, and I was going into the exams for these art schools, and because you have to go to the examinations process." And then we were like, "Okay, no, we'll take you out of there now, put you over here, and
Canada.
now let's see what we can do over here."
How
So
old
that
were
was
you? How old were you
I
when you?
was 18, like 18, 19, sort of just under 18, sort of in
Okay.
that range. I kind of knew about it, but it was just like more of a shock. She didn't really tell me. She kind of loosely explained to me that we might be going. And then right at the time when I was about to start the university, went through a couple of exams, and she's like, well, we're not staying. So anyway, so I came to Canada and obviously had to kind of leave behind a lot of the art tools and things, right? Art is a lot about things, like you have your paintings, you have your books, like your schedule. So when I moved, I lost quite a bit of it, but I still studied to go to OCAD. So we discovered there's a school of OCAD.
Right.
I'm like, okay, I would
Right.
like to go to OCAD. And so I studied for that. And I got accepted to OCAD a year later, and studied there for 4 years. Although the fine arts that I wanted to do was also pushed away towards design, because my parents believe that the art doesn't make money, so that we get to sort of get into more logical
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
part of art, which pushed me to design. So I've been a graphic designer and a branding artist for 20 years. I started in the companies. I worked with architecture companies. I did graphic design for most of my professional life. And and then I just got burned out because the art part of it died. There was like no art in design. There's no self-expression. You're just expressing other people as whatever they need, whatever they need to express. So
Mm-hmm.
it is very much more mechanical. There's creativity in it, but the my way of using art as an emotional processing mechanism
Yes.
fell off.
Nice. Emotional processing mechanism. I love that.
Yeah,
Yes, 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 yes. And that's true with the artist's soul, right? Like there is this idea of the amateur to be able to make art for art's sake and to give it away. And in that reciprocity, there's a greater design out there that we hook up and hook into that kind of gives us life force and life energy to offer our art, to offer, and it's culture too. It builds our communities. It's a reflection of our humanity. So now what? I'm so excited to hear the rest of the story. So then what happened?
so I always say, when people say, so I've been coached and I was on a sort of a healing journey for a while, and I'm like, I I wasn't happy, and people are like, what do you want to do? What do you want to become? I'm like, I don't know. I just want to be an artist. I just want to be
Right.
an artist. I kept saying this for most of my life. I just want to be an artist. I want to be a yoga teacher, but instead I am working full-time job in an office. I have to stay in a condo that pay rent and da 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 da. It felt such a contrast, and I'm like, that just felt life felt stuck until so the coaching process and my martial arts journey gave me a little bit of trust,
Awesome.
confidence
That's right.
to
Yeah.
be able to speak my truth, to be able to follow my way rather than following what I was told to do, and what I was told that this is the right thing to do. You can't be an artist and a yoga teacher because that's not what this world about. This world is not doing that. It's so I'm like, okay. Anyways, it just took some traumas for my mom to sort of realize that it's okay for
It's
me to
okay.
follow my dreams.
All right. And also you following a very specific story because society is going to feed us all kinds of stories. But what is the story that our heart and our soul is really yearning to explore? And in our own hero's journey, in our own story unfolding, we are actually participating in a new story, in the stories of all the people who take those risks. We're not doing it because of the money, guys. We're doing it because we have to. And then the money flows, the money comes, the doors open where just for us, for no one else, right? So tell me about that part.
So that's the part I have to put a lot of trust in, and I still don't. I mean, so what happened is, because I went through some divorce, I got laid off my job, and so I was having a bit of time, and then
Mhm.
I started pulling it together, deciding that, staying in Toronto is not the kind of life I want. I want to come to nature. I want to be able to have a studio space to be able to work. I actually started doing some artwork in Toronto, in my apartment, but then I couldn't really sustain it because the price, like it was too expensive to buy the material. And then I wasn't producing enough to sell. So
Right.
it was just like, okay, how are we going to pay the rent? So that became a problem. Like Ivan and she was working, paying,
Yeah.
but then it
Yeah.
was just not right. So
Oh,
I came up with
great.
this project. Let's buy a rural land, build a house, have a studio in the rural. We don't have to pay too
What a
much rent,
risk.
or we don't have to pay rent at all. Like we'll see.
Right. Right.
So,
Wow.
and I was looking for some private investors for this because as an entrepreneur, you don't really get loans from the banks or mortgages. So, and it happened that my parents at the time were looking for some investment opportunities. I was just like, hey, would you mind? I
Yeah.
have this
They're going to
opportunity.
help you become an artist after all. That's
Yes.
awesome. I love that story.
So they said yes, and they've been like financing this house, and it works for them too because this is the unit that they're going to live in the future, and I will also like it. There's a whole story to it, so they can come and stay, and they're also financing me for my life, and just for this creation. So I live. This is
Oh, I can't wait to see.
let's
Yes.
see,
Oh my goodness. Where is this? In Ontario?
Croft, Ontario.
Bancroft.
Oh yeah,
Look at that forest
the forest.
and that deck.
Yes, so we built everything in this house. So that's behind me, there's kitchen. So this is now my art expression. I've been
Mhm.
constructing this space, and there is a bigger part of this house. This is the
And you
small
built it.
unit.
You're, yeah, you know how to design. So you're like,
We hands-on built it.
oh,
Foundation too. Now,
oh,
this is
it's
the
so
siding we
beautiful.
finished. We actually charred the siding
Mm.
and ourselves. And this is where we are.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh my goodness.
And no, there's the sound of birds. And this is the deck, and we actually are going to live on the other side of this house because we have a bigger unit there, which we have some guest rooms, but it's not done yet. So,
Okay.
and now
That's
we're building
brilliant.
a garden further there. We were working on that.
Yes, I see that.
And then some
Oh, the
solar
solar
panels.
panels.
So we are off grid and we have 45 acres of woodlands.
Mm,
And this has been my project. This has
yeah,
been
your
my art.
creative project. Thank you so much. AJ, as a journeyman, like towards this part of your life. Oh, here's another part of the
This is the other part, and
oh, it's a loft. Look at all
everything.
those windows. Oh my goodness, and the plants.
Yeah, that's our fancy corner, and we have this huge ceiling.
Oh,
It's
wow.
hard to see it right now. It's a bit dark, but that's the mystery. So people, you guys have to come and see it and follow me on
Yes, yes.
Instagram.
Tell how can people reach you?
Whispering Forest Bancroft is how you can find me on Google. Whisperingforest.com, I think, is the handle. I'm working on a website, but if you Google Whispering Forest Bancroft or yeah, Ontario, this should show. I should show up somehow.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. Thank
Yeah.
you. Okay, so if there's something that you'd like to offer out of your your journey towards this lifestyle, taking
Mhm.
all these risks, what kind of advice would you give somebody who's got that dream in their heart but just doesn't quite know how to walk through the threshold into that unknown space and take those risks and do those things? What would you say?
Really, just do it. Just do
Just
it.
do it.
There's no easy way of saying it because like it was hard and it's a journey. It's never like you step into your dream and everything is like roses and beautiful things and
Right,
unicorns, right?
right,
After
right.
we said yes to this process, 4 years, well, actually this is our 6th year of building. It was exhausting. I got sick. So
Right,
it's
right.
like it wasn't, but then I know that this is just worth it. And even when I was sick, I'm like, you know what? I'm happy to accept the sickness. I'm happy whatever happens because I am on an authentic path. It wasn't before, it wasn't my life. It wasn't my dream. It wasn't my anything.
That's
But
right.
now this feels that it's mine, even though it's not complete, it's not perfect, but it is mine. It belongs to me. It's my creation.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's worth it.
So tell me your handle again.
Whispering Forest,
Whispering Forest.
Bancroft.
Bancroft. Okay. We'll make sure to have that in the comments below. And I just want to thank you so much, AJ, for being here and
Thank
for talking about your life and your art and passing it on to us so that we can become inspired to be on an authentic path in our own lives.
you. No, thank you,
All right.
Florence, for
All
giving
right.
me the word. So,
All right. Take care.
gratitude.